What's up, snake fans? Dave Palumbo here from Muscle Serpents Daily, and I got my beautiful Motley, Albino, I love this girl, Het Leopard, Pinky, hanging out here around my neck. She's gorgeous. She's produced some beautiful babies for me over the years, and she's one of the most laid-back boas I've ever had. She just likes to chill. She's very, very friendly, and you know what? Once again, I love that the Motley Albino Leopard Complex, and I'm going to also call it the Eclipse Albino Eclipse Complex, is amazing. You know, I bought into this project a bunch of years ago now. I don't even know, maybe 5 years ago. Joe Consolini, I bought this snake from, really good breeder of boas, and I bought a double het or hypo double het albino leopard male, and I bred them together, and I produced, you know, first, I guess you could say, for me at least, albino eclipses. They didn't really do that well, but all the other ones did very well. So I produced Sunglow, het leopards, and all kinds of cool stuff, albino leopards over the years. I'm going to show you the latest litter that we have from this little girl from this past year. She produced some really, really cool stuff. We got some albino leopard, we got an albino eclipse, we got eclipses. She seems to throw a lot of regular eclipses. And everything I produce from her is always going to be het albino too, because she's a visual albino and she's just exquisite. So let's go into the snake room and take a look at her litter from this past year as it's growing and maturing and changing. All right, here is my albino eclipse. Once again, that eclipse being the leopard, Motley. This is with the albino. This is my first one I've ever produced, actually, that has been viable and that has been healthy. For some reason, I just have bad luck with these albino eclipses. I know other people have produced them. This girl is, actually this boy, I should say, has been eating well. Let's see if we can get him out here. They're very similar to albino leopards. They just have that Motley gene in them, which takes away all the pattern. And he's doing real well. And I'm really happy that, you know, he made it, so to speak. Let's see if he continues to thrive. Now here's a male regular eclipse, which is het albino. That's just leopard Motley. And you can see the difference between these two on my dirty floor. Let's see if we can bring them outside here to see if they look a little nicer. All right, it rained yesterday, so it's the floor's a little damp here, the cement. You get the picture. You can just, once again, you can see the discrepancy, or the differences, I should say. Solid, you know, black, chocolate looking snake, and here's your albino version of it. Once again, both essentially patternless. There's like a little bit of a striping down its side, but essentially patternless. And it's that Motley combined with the leopard that produces that. I really love the heads of the leopards, especially when they're solid like that in the eclipse form. Even in the albino version, same thing. Really cool looking heads. They kind of have like a pointy nose. I just like the shape of them. And this is the fruition of that project. You know, if you want to see, I know a lot of people have bought Eclipse het albinos from me in 2019. This is obviously 2020. I have one more 19 available male. So if you guys want, act quickly. A bunch of people have been asking me about him because he's ready to breed. But if you see the difference, once again, if you're looking to produce a beautiful like white patternless snake or a black patternless snake, this is the project to get involved with. All right, now here I wanted to bring out the 2019. I wanted to show you what a difference a year makes. You can see that the babies are born a little darker and they get a little more chocolatey as they get older. And you can see, this is, once again, this is not a holdback of mine, so he's not being fed very heavily. It's very warm out today, so they're feeling their oats here. They're getting a little excited. You can see he's not big, he's not huge. He's part dwarf, 50% dwarf, so he's not gonna get huge. This is a breeder male right here. You know, he's gonna breed, this guy, for sure. He's my last 2019 I have left for you guys, so if you guys are interested, let me know. If not, I might keep him. I actually might keep him. So he's pretty nice looking and very inquisitive. Very good temperament and personality as well, this one. I find that the leopards have really good temperaments. Maybe it's because my mama does. The mama of the litter is real. I mean, she's like, she would never think to bite you. She's just very, very, very tame. And, you know, those personality traits are definitely passed on, even in people. You get nasty parents, you get nasty kids. All right, I hope you guys see the difference here. All right, here's a beautiful, beautiful female. This is a Motley het albino het leopard. It's a double het albino leopard. When you combine that het leopard with the Motley, you get a striped animal, usually with this delineation between dorsal and side stripe. I love it. I love the het leopard look of when it's combined with Motley. I almost like it. Well, I like the Eclipse better. So when you have a full homozygous leopard combined with Motley, you get the patternless, you know, black snake. When you only have one copy of the leopard, you get this striping going on here. And you can see that the difference between the top and the bottom, it's very distinct. And along the tail, you get that nice stripe. That's now I know it's 100% het leopard because the mother was albino leopard, but I could tell, even if I didn't know, if it was a possible het leopard, I would know this would be het leopard. And once again, really, really nice looking female here. She is gorgeous. Haven't listed her yet, but if you're interested in getting involved in this project, you don't want to have to go with a homozygous animal because it's too expensive. This is a good way to get into the project. Really, really nice coloration on this. Nice striping on the tail too. All right, here's another Motley double het albino leopard. This one is a lot darker. I'm going to put him down here on the dirty floor so you can see him. You can see the striping is really, really nice. He's got much more darkness than the other one had. This is a male. The other one was a female. Once again, really nice. I mean, look at it, like patternless essentially. I mean, this, you know what? I almost want to call this an Eclipse, but I don't think it is. It's, it might be. This might be Eclipse. It might be like a more striped version of the Eclipse. It looked het leopard when I first saw it, but yeah, it might be Eclipse. It's really, really nice though. It's a much more different looking one for sure. You can see there's a lot more. It has that side and dorsal differentiation like a het leopard would, but it's got no pattern on it really. You know, it doesn't have any Motley pattern. So I'm tending to think that this might be another Eclipse. It's just a slightly different expression in the Eclipse. Once again, this is a male. Very cool. So I got some cool stuff here, and like I said, that's why I don't list stuff immediately. I like to let these things shed out and grow a little bit because they do change. They change a lot, and that's what makes it interesting. All right, this is the albino leopard, the double homozygous. So it doesn't have the Motley gene in it. If it did, it would be a solid white snake. It would be the albino Eclipse. This is just albino leopard, which I almost think is nicer. It's got crazy pattern. This one is actually sold, this male. He's gonna be going to his owner probably in another couple weeks. Just getting a couple more meals in him. And really, really nice looking snake. One of my favorite combinations. I mean, the albino blood and the albino leopard is just exquisite. And remember, everything that I showed you from that previous litter, all those Eclipses, they're all het albino too, so a lot of potential. This is your double het leopard albino. This is a male. Obviously much more affordable if you want to get into the albino leopard Eclipse project. Picking up one of these, obviously, is going to be a lot cheaper because he's just a carrier, but still beautiful. Anything that's het leopard is just a beautiful looking snake because there's no such thing. I think that the leopard gene is really incomplete dominant, kind of like the onyx gene. I don't think it's. I don't really think it's a recessive. Now you're not going to get the full-blown leopard look unless you have the two copies, but you definitely see a difference in the het leopard. You know, especially when it interacts with Motley and other genes. This guy is just really nice too. You know, once again, just if you're looking for something that's unusually different, look at the bottom of the snake, the belly. I mean, that het leopard is such a crazy influence, and that's why I don't really think it's het leopard. I think it's just a visual. It has a visual heterozygous form. All right, now this is not from the same mama. This is a previous litter that I had. This is a female from 2019. This is last year. She's about 1.5 years old now. This is a Sunclipse. That's an albino, tall albino, obviously, with the hypo gene. And then it's 100% het leopard. You can see that het leopard influence right through here. Once again, that you see it in the albino. It has the same two-tone striping along the side. And the only difference with this snake is it has that extra hypo gene, and that's because the mother I bred her to, or actually the father is different. Actually, the mother's the same. So here you go. You can see the potential of this. Now this almost looks like the albino leopard, right? Once again, because leopard in its het form is definitely visual, like we said earlier. I mean, there's no debating that. Everyone knows it. Anyone who breeds leopards knows it. Why we still consider to call it a recessive, I don't know, but this is definitely an incomplete dominant as far as I'm concerned, because you can see visually very easily, not just pied markers like you see in a bull pied. This is visually different, you know, in its het form. This gene is very similar to the onyx boa that I've shown you. I have a lot of too. And onyx, we call onyx in the single form onyx, and then when it's a super onyx, we call it a super onyx. Visual in both forms, so, and looking different. And that's, I think, you know, leopard is related to that. It's not the same gene, but it's definitely related. It might be allelic to it from what we've seen. It might be, they kind of sit on the same allele, I think. But if the onyx is incomplete dominant, then that makes the leopard have to be incomplete dominant. So you guys make your own opinions. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. I hope you enjoyed this little look into the Eclipse and albino Eclipse boa project. Once again, I'm here with Pinky. She's helping to take me in and out of the videos today, and I'm trying to just give her a little exercise, maybe take her outside a little bit. She did so good for me these past couple years, and I'm going to give her a year off now and give her a break. Let her put some weight back on and some muscle mass back on, and she'll be ready hopefully for the 2022 season. Once again, she's been just a really great snake for me, and she started out as a pet more so. I always wanted to breed her, obviously, with the intent of producing albino eclipses, but I did a lot of handling of her early on because she was one of my first boas I ever had, and so I kind of have an affinity for her. You know, sometimes you produce boas and you don't really touch them that much because they're not, you know, they're pets, but they're really more for breeding purposes. She was a pet first, and that's why she's got a name. Not all my snakes have names, and she's just got a great looking face. And she had a really, not anymore, but she had a really, really pink tail when she was first born. That's why she got called Pinky. A nice striped tail. So I hope you guys are having a great Monday. You guys know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, hit the like button. We'll see you back tomorrow morning.